Today I'm going to show you guys 5 glitches that you should know about in Palworld. So let's go. So for the first glitch that I'm going to show you, it is how to duplicate any pal that comes from an egg. And I'm using these two as just an example. You can do it with any pal you want. So let's get into it. I can tell you a bit more about it as we go. The first thing you want to do is when you have an egg, you want to make a hard save. To make a hard save, you press escape and you return to title. Then you want to start game, go to the save file and change world settings, go to custom and change it so that the auto save interval is 30 minutes. You could do it as well with 15 minutes, maybe even 10 if you're quick, but 30 minutes is generally the best way to do this. So now you can click OK, and confirm your save and then start your game. So when you start your game, you're going to pick up the egg and you're going to put it into an incubator. And if you change your settings so that the incubation period is immediate, then it's going to be very quick. If not, then you can just wait like normal. But I'm just going to do it for demonstration purposes where I have the timer set to 1 for incubation. And that way I don't have to wait for the egg to hatch. So I'm going to put the egg into the incubator and I'm going to collect the egg. And I'm after getting a shroomer. Now, if you want to get another one of these eggs, what you need to do is you need to put the pal into the global pal box. And as you can see here, we already have 2 of these shroomers with Workaholic and Swift. So I'm going to put the next one in, and now we're going to have 3. Now, I know that shroomers are not exactly the target pal that we're looking for. This is literally just for demonstration purposes. So I have 3 shroomers. They all have Workaholic and Swift, bottom right of your screen. So now that the pal is in the global pal box, I am going to Alt F4 out of my game. And I believe on Xbox, you have to hit the home button and exit game. You do not press escape. You do not return to title. You have to hard exit out of your game. So Alt F4. And now we are going to reopen our game. We're not going to change any of our settings. We're just going to start our game up and we should be standing right in front of another one of these eggs. And you just do it over and over and over again. And you're pretty much waiting for the egg that you are happy with, obviously, before you start doing this glitch. And as soon as you do everything I said, make a hard save, turn the interval to 30 minutes, and then incubate the egg. If you're not happy with the egg, just wait until you get a new egg and do it again. And obviously don't keep making the same shroomer if you don't want this particular shroomer constantly, because if the shroomer isn't good enough for you, then you don't want to be keeping it. And then there's our third one. So we have 3 in here now. Speaking of duplications, for the next thing I want to show you guys, I am going to need some circuit boards. So we're going to be using the duplication glitch to get some extra circuit boards. Remove all your pals so that you don't have any issues with them building stuff if you don't want them to. And I'm going to link you to my other video on this that goes more into detail about this particular glitch. So you take out your building of a pillar, and if you look at the top of your screen, one of the planks is longer than the other ones. And we're going to have that facing us. Use a building like this red one in order to be able to see it, and then move it to the left 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The reason why you're doing that is because you want the longer plank to be pretty much at the border of your base. So we're going to line up our cursor so that it's just slightly to the right of the boundary. You can put it onto the boundary line if you want. I like to slightly go a little bit in, and you press right click to build it once. And you know you've done it right if the longer part of the pillar or the planks at the top is facing outside of your base. Now you want to do the same thing again. Don't forget you're using right click to build continuously here. And you want to have it so that the 2 pillars are just about kissing. So I think this would be perfect. If you look about halfway up the pillar, you see that there's this little bumpy part that is touching the other pillar. If you look at the bottom, they're touching, and there's little gaps in between, but that's actually a good thing, which I explained more in that other video I'll link to. So we're going to build that now. We're going to delete the initial one that we made, And this will have worked if the longer part of the planks is facing the outside, and it is, so that's perfect. We're going to get onto the pillar and we're going to look for the sweet spot where everything starts shaking. Now, because of the FPS limit, if you go to graphics and you change your graphics to 30 FPS max, this is easier to find, this little sweet spot that I'm talking about, and you know you're in the right place when the entire screen starts shaking at the top right. And if for some reason it doesn't work for you, just build a new pillar and either have it so that the pillars are kissing a little bit more to each other, or have it so that they're not as close to each other, so they're a little bit further away. And it takes a while to get used to it. As you can see, I've been doing this for ages and I still haven't been able to do it every single time perfectly. So the first thing you need to do is when the screen starts flashing, you need to go into your build menu and select the item that you want to build multiple of. So we need to scoot ourselves into the glitch position and keep clicking left click. You have to try and get it so that the screen's flashing when the left click actually works. Now we need to get back into position and get the screen to flash again, and then spam right click to make as many of these as we can. And every single one of these is going to be an extra 10 circuit boards for us, which is exactly what we need. Now you just go around and you collect all of the items, and that's going to give you a lot of materials. Whatever you need, just do this glitch. Now, one thing I'll tell you is do not have the ingredients for the product that you were trying to make in your inventory. Have the ingredients in your chest, otherwise this isn't going to work. And you could use the grappling hook to get around while you were over encumbered. So we're going to put all of this in here. And now we have 110 of the circuit boards. So now I want to show you guys how to build 2 crude oil extractors on 1 oil node. And this is going to take you a while, so be prepared for this. What we're looking to do is we are going to go into crude oil extractor, and you see the tanks here. We want to have those at the back. So we have those facing away from us. Perfect. And now if you look at the top of your screen, I have my compass. And if you have your compass east and south, you want to go directly in the middle of east and south. And bring your crude oil extractor all the way to the top corner of the node itself, just to flatten it out. And without changing the direction that you're looking, maybe I might be a little bit slightly off. Yeah, now that you're in the right position, without changing the direction you're looking, wiggle around until you can build the crude extractor. I'm after hitting the direction button again. So this can be very sensitive, as you can see. And try and wiggle your way in so that you have as much room as possible before it turns blue. And when it turns blue, you can right click to build one, and then you're obviously going to be building another one. And we're going to move over here to the right. Now, if this doesn't turn blue pretty much straight away, then you built the first one too close to the middle, and this isn't going to work. But if you do come over here and the areas aren't touching, then you can kind of move forward and back a couple times just to double check. And as long as you don't touch that east-south thing that I mentioned at the beginning, if you don't change the way you're looking, and if you wiggle around here and it just doesn't turn blue, then you start to get it. It's as simple as that. Eventually, you will hit the sweet spot, and that sweet spot is going to be it's going to take you a little bit of time, unfortunately. So we're going to cancel this. We're going to press B. We're going to press C. We're going to cancel out. We're going to get our materials back. Nothing's wasted, and we're going to try it again. So the tanks are facing away from us. We're looking east and south, and we are pretty much flattening out the crude oil extractor first, and then we're trying to bring it into position. And we're hoping that we can get maybe a tiny couple of pixels more to the left this time. Now, The reason why I'm using east and south is because it's the only one that's ever worked for me. Apparently you can do it with the other directions as well. East and south, I don't know what it is the only one that's ever worked for me. So just keep that in mind for yourself. All right, now we have that one. Let's see, without changing the direction we're looking, can we get blue lights on this? Doesn't look like it so far. Just need to wiggle back and forth. Might be too close to each other. We're just looking. We got it. We got blue lights. And now we've built 2. So as you can kind of see, that second one we built, it feels like it's very far away from the node, but it actually worked. So it's perfect. These things take a lot of electricity, so make sure you have plenty of electricity in your base. And just in case you're wondering where I am, because this is one of the better places for the oil nodes, I am pretty much west of Obsidian Mountain, and I am just north of Beach of Everlasting Summer. There's like 3 nodes here. We have a little bit of a funny glitch next, and it's going to be a 2-for glitch. And that is, we are here with this black market guy, and you can put him into a hanging trap, if you didn't know. Now, I highly recommend putting your hanging trap in a way so that you can go behind him and he'll still be in the trap. So usually what I try and do is I try and make it in this direction here. And I think we should be able to get away with it here, hopefully. And now he's in the trap. And what you're going to do is you're going to come behind him, try and stay in here in this little area. This particular spot that I'm in is just to the west of Eastern Wild Island in a little cave here. This is going to classify itself as criminal activity. So you don't want to get caught by the guards outside. So stay in here and shoot him from here. Be careful not to hit your trap or he'll get out and start attacking you. And that trap, as long as it's facing in the direction I just showed you, you will have pretty much a hard time hitting it. You'll have to go out of your way to hit it. And then we can start shooting him. Now we could do a couple of things here with this one. We can have the Ring of Mercy on so that we can kill him with fire damage using a torch to gain a ton of XP afterwards. We can capture him or we can kill him. I think we're going to try and capture him. So let's get his HP down to 1. So if you want to kill him, take off the Ring of Mercy and capture him. If you want some XP, you can kill him with fire damage from a torch and it'll give you a ton of XP. And obviously if you want to capture him, use a sphere. You're pretty much already going to get 1 chance he'll come off of this trap if the sphere doesn't work. So try and use a good one. I'm only using a gigasphere here, so I'm not sure if this is going to work. And then we can use him back at base. So we're going to try and capture him now and see what happens. That didn't work for some reason. Does he even exist anymore? And so we'll see if we get the capture. We didn't get the capture, and he isn't aggroed on me. I didn't realize that was going to happen. He destroyed my thing, but he's not aggroed, so we can try again. We've already got gigaspears though, so there's pretty much no chance that we're getting this guy. We're going to end up killing him. I got to remove the Ring of Mercy. He's going to die. We're going to get his loot, and we're going to have to come back and try and get him again. Now we're wanted. You just go to title and come back in, and your wanted level will be gone. That's how you get rid of a wanted level in Palworld. So our last glitch of today for you guys is the XP glitch, and particularly for Meebog. Now, I actually don't have any pals that are below the level 65. So if you want to check out a full guide on this, make sure you check out my other video, which I'll link to you at the top right of your screen. But for now, we are going to put this Meemog into a hanging trap. So we're going to put a trap down, and it's very cheap to make the traps, wood and stone. And he's automatically going to be put into this wooden trap. And then we're going to have the Ring of Mercy on, and we're going to do damage to him. And every bit of damage that you do to him is going to count towards your XP buildup. And if we take off the Ring of Mercy, any damage that you do, any XP that you would have gotten, just literally goes away. So to kill this guy, we need to use a handheld torch to set him on fire. And if we set him on fire, it overrides the Ring of Mercy, he dies, and we get a lot of XP. As I said already, I arrived here without any characters that needed XP, so you didn't see any of that. Brilliant. But I guarantee you it works, and I'll let you know if any of these get patched. I usually find my Memogs around here on this beach. These are lower level ones for the earlier game, and for early game I also use the semi-auto rifle to do the damage, or I use the crossbow. Don't use poison or fire or you'll kill the Memog early. And when you're shooting at the Memog, try not to hit your own trap or you'll end up breaking the trap and he'll run away. Don't forget to use the Palpedia to find out where their habitat is, so you can see where they are during the day and during the night. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.